So I'm really ashamed at Newsweek right now. I think Newsweek needs to be on a ventilator, and then they'll realize the gravity of the situation of the virus, because they ran an article that said lockdowns don't have any clear benefit. So they're just such Trump tards now, Newsweek, and what's next? CNN's going to say Trump did a good thing. Oh my God, these Trump tard, COVID denying, horrible, problematic Newsweek people. The newspaper, the magazine should be on a ventilator, and then they'll see how serious it is. Go die, Newsweek. You're terrible. Of course, that's a joke. So what is this video about? There's been a sea change in the idea that lockdowns have any benefit or any good. Even Cuomo said something about it the other day in a tweet. It was just like, for after months of the science is so good. Lockdowns are great. Okay, so now you're saying lockdowns have no benefit. What have people been saying for 10 fucking months? The lockdowns are bad in the long run. Unless you're an island nation that has no people come in for months at a time, like New Zealand. Very, very sparsely populated, or not sparsely, but very low population places like New Zealand or even Australia to some extent. It's just ridiculous. Newsweek is running this article. It's just like, it kind of makes me think about a lot of the Trump people, what they said. And I'm not going to say that this is some worldwide conspiracy or something, because that would be ridiculous. They said, a lot of these people are saying, and even right-wingers that are not on the Trump train, they said once Biden's in there, you're going to see, even if a relative of mine said this, and I think he voted for Biden. He's like, once Biden's in there and the articles are going to change, you're going to see less, you're going to see the narratives are going to change. That's all people are saying. Like, lockdowns don't work anymore, and like the crisis is not as bad as we said it was, blah, blah, blah. And, the cases are going to, there's people even saying that the PCR tests, this is kind of a dramatic leap of faith here. I don't know if this is true or not. And I don't know. I'm not going to predict this is going to happen. There's people that say the PCR tests are going to have different criteria because Biden's in there. It wouldn't surprise me, though, considering all the stuff that's happening. And what I mean by that is that what people count as a case is going to be differently specified or differently categorized. So magically, Biden will make cases go down. So, oh shit, what's going on with my chair? Oh, sorry, kind of went a certain way there. So, what do I think about this? I think it's about damn time that people admitted to themselves that this shit is fucking ridiculous. A lot of the crazier thoughts of this. I mean, what are people going to say? And it's Stanford, of course. Oh, it's Stanford, that evil, problematic Stanford. Oh, my God. JetBlue is behind all this now. Oh. They had a lot of people from Stanford that were against lockdowns from the beginning. So, I mean, it is true that Stanford, it does stand out. Get it? Stanford, stand out? So, what do I think about this revelation? Well, it's just like the fucking Madison, Wisconsin finally admitting outdoor transmission is low. The science we've recently found with the science, or some fucking statement on their public health website like that. I'm like, they found that outdoor transmission is rare to impossible. Oh my God. I didn't know about this like 9 months ago when I was reading simple articles. Or even Chinese studies. Oh. I mean, Rufus McDoofus must be throwing a fit right now. My coronitarian character that I do, he must be fucking just like going crazy in his basement right now. Because, like, lockdowns are great. He wants to lock down the world forever. And people wear, like, bodysuits forever and shit, you know? So he thinks the virus is going to kill 1 billion people and shit. And he loves Joe Biden, too, by the way. But, because you've seen my videos about that. If you watch my channel for a while. So, that's from my coffee, not from the virus. Yeah, that's the sad thing about this, like how if you cough, someone will look at you funny or something. Now it's like, it's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, they're admitting, the mainstream media admitting lockdown. Oh, what an interesting timing. I don't really believe this, but nothing. I would put nothing past anybody in power anymore as a non-Trump supporter saying this, that I wouldn't put past the mainstream media turning the gears a little bit towards, like, and Louis Rossman had a video about this too, or similar to this, like about Cuomo, and then there was someone in the comments section that said some of these other politicians are saying this stuff now too, and I don't know the veracity of that. I haven't investigated. I read the Cuomo stuff. It's true. He said, well, lockdowns are not the way. It's like Macron and Merkel said that too during the summer, and look what happened to that though. So who the fuck knows? But yeah, mainstream reporting, lockdowns don't work. They're not doing the intended effect. Well, no shit, Sherlock. It's just like, I just want to fucking slap the faces of how these fucking morons that just totally, it just enrages me to a huge extent that people were so on board with this shit. And now, all of a sudden, another COVID cough. No, I'm just kidding. Another coffee going down the wrong chute cough. It just makes me really exacerbated that people have been so fucking stupid throughout this whole thing. They're so fucking ridiculously stupid and ignorant and naive. And it makes me really mad. And I didn't lose friends per se, but I'm on the outs with a couple of friends of mine because of this shit. Because I was just like, no, I don't fucking believe that. No, I'm not doing that. No, I refuse. I'm not fucking doing that. I'm not complying with that. Including washing the phone that I'm doing this video on 5 times in a row or whatever the fuck someone made me do once. It's like, ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. I never underestimate the stupidity of humanity, unfortunately. It's a very misanthropic statement. Because obviously, as you know, like, I believe in humanity, and my optimism in my videos, obviously, like, talking about how I believe, things will get better and stuff. But yeah, never underestimate the stupidity of people. I mean, the gullibility. And now that... Yeah, I fully expect this now. I'm starting to believe this. Okay, I'm starting to believe what they're saying. That now that Biden's president. And you can believe in the Great Reset, New World Order, blah, blah, blah. That might happen too. You never know. But I believe there is a chance. There is a chance. I'm not going to predict anything. But there is a chance that we're going to see more articles like this. And we're going to see more like, oh, well, of course we can reopen schools. Of course, and maybe eventually the dreaded thing will go away too. I mean, I go to the fucking store and they still have these things on the floor that say social distancing. Nobody fucking follows them. The arrows at a grocery store, I can't tell you. I probably violated those arrows 100 times now already. I don't go down those fucking the arrow thing with the grocery store. You're supposed to go one way, like a traffic kind of thing. It's like, it's so stupid. It hasn't done anything. What has that done? How many lives has arrows on the fucking floor helped? Or saved, I mean. How many lives has a fucking arrow on the fucking floor of your store saved? You can talk about masks all day. There's a lot of debate about that. But a fucking arrow on your floor. telling you to go in one direction because of social distancing. How many people is this? So stupid. So people don't laugh at this shit just because they're Trump supporting maniac, sociopath, problematic edgelords. People laugh at this shit because some of it's just so fucking ludicrous and stupid. I even have some family members that voted for Biden. They're like, that's so stupid. People jump out of my way. It's just so stupid. And now we have articles that are perpetuating this ridiculous gullibility because they're admitting things that people knew 10 months ago. There were articles saying it wouldn't work 10 months ago. There were people saying the same exact science in these articles coming out of these politicians' pronouncements about lockdowns. Oh, the lockdowns aren't working. Like Cuomo sort of hinted at that in an article, or in the tweet that he had, and some of the statements he's making supposedly, according to Louis Rossmann. And then there was a tweet that he quoted. So people knew this months ago. Yeah, people were shamed. People were censored. People were fucking seen as villains, evil, sociopathic, murdering, psychopathic, Trump-supporting, right-wing Nazi maniacs for even suggesting that lockdowns wouldn't work or have the intended effect, or even suggesting that masks aren't a panacea for everything, or even suggesting that, the cure is worse than the disease. It was like Trump said, of course, but as soon as Trump said that, it was over for that point of view, pretty much, unfortunately, because people are so fucking retarded. So, yeah, it's kind of the gall that they come out with this. It makes me mad, and I'm happy that the trend is going in the opposite direction than it was in some ways. I can even hear in Madison, Wisconsin, like, well, we can have gatherings of 50 people outside now instead of 25 because we know the science is that the outdoor. We've determined that the science said that outdoor transmission is rare. Were they waiting for 100 studies to come out? Were they waiting for 50? How do they fucking gauge all this shit? What did it take for them to make that decision? How the fuck did they not know that 5 months ago when it was pretty much well known? Even Fauci had fucking came out and said, oh, well, outdoor transmission is either rare, non-existent because the air, blah, 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 blah. That's why they have all these outdoor restaurant bullshit things going on. Anyways, what the fuck is wrong with these people? So anyways, I'm just pissed. I shouldn't be pissed. I should be happy that it's going in that direction. But it's all for this political bullshit, whatever the fuck they're doing. I don't know. I'm an agnostic. I don't know what the fuck this is all about. I never did, and I talked about how I thought there was a lot of propaganda involved in it. Obviously, I was right, This is proving people right, too. This is another thing. The article in Newsweek, it's proving people right that we're, subjugated to this bullshit, this nonsense, this maelstrom of inane partisan nonsense for months. It's like they were proven right. Oh, lockdowns don't work. Oh, you're a maniac who wants people to die. It's like Louis Rossmann does a better impression of people that attack him because he's a moderate, quote unquote, about all this stuff because he still believes in masks and stuff, but he's just like, open this shit up, and he talks about the restaurant like that's outdoors, but it's really indoors. They built a whole fucking basically it's like a shed. An outdoor shed. There's a door, there's windows, there's a roof, and it's like basically an outdoor. It's like a shed. It's like at most, or like a garage that they fucking built for people the diners to eat, because it's outdoors, so it gets around the guidelines of De Blasio and Cuomo, and it was ridiculous. But people attack him still for wanting people to die because he attacks this stupid bullshit, arbitrary nonsense. So that's all I really got to say. I mean, like I said, I'm happy that people are going more in this direction. Hopefully they will. And I know that Biden's president probably will happen. I mean, I'm not a supporter of Trump, but it's like they're going to go. I mean, unless you believe in all these other conspiracies that may happen, which may, or maybe, maybe some of it will, then you can believe that at least the press coverage will go down, and then, PCR tests might be changed, and they'll start saying like, oh well, we changed the criteria because we feel that, like just like the CDC in the summer, they changed things like 5 fucking times. Like the first, you didn't have, you isolated for 14 days, and it was 10 days, and then people were attacking them for that. And then asymptomatic people that were positive did this or that. They had to do this. The CDC might change shit again and say, well, the PCR test, if you have this amount of the viral load in you, then we're going to consider that COVID-free. I'm going to use the word. I don't give a fuck. Oh, well, why did you change your criteria from when Trump was president? Because that'll lower the cases. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't bat an eye if they did that at this point. Wouldn't bat an eye at anything these motherfuckers would do, because it's been a clusterfuck from whatever point of view you have, whether it be responding to it in the first place or, from the right-wing side, which, of course, probably people think I am. Which I don't give a fuck, because, I'm sure there were Republicans during Bush that were like, excuse me, dry ass coffee. So I'm sure there were Republicans during Bush that were like, I don't like what Bush is doing. I'm still a Republican, but I don't like what Bush is doing. Same with this. I'm just like, I'm still a leftist, liberal to some extent, but I'm just like, I don't like what they're doing with all this shit. And now we're proven right to some extent. And they're going to run these articles. They're going to be like, New York Times will probably have a companion piece to that. And you never know, like the article may just state it as fact. We now know that lockdowns don't work, even though we've been saying that you're an evil, maniacal piece of shit if you say that for months. But it's the science. It's the science, see? You should trust the science. It takes 6 months to come to consensus because we're fucking maniacal, authoritarian fuckwits who want to fuck your lives over. That's the science.